I'm sure you guys pick up the papers or you check on your phones each and every day. There's literally an accident somewhere out there. It is so tragic. It is deplorable. And we've heard statistics so far this year, more than 1,200 people have died on the roads. Why is that? Why now? What's going on? Well, let's talk more about it and see if there is a way forward. How can we prevent all these tragic accidents from happening? In the studio, joining us live, is the president of the Matatu Owners Association, Albert Karakacha. These accidents, Bwana President, these accidents, they're just too much. Every other day or every day, 10 people dead, 5 people dead, 11 people dead, a whole family wiped out. It's terrible.
It's true, it's terrible. But we say pole for the families who've lost their families. And as an association, I think we are coming up with a plan. We've been having clinics all over the country. Last week we were in Eldoret, Bungoma, Kitale. And we believe through the clinics we are able to talk to our drivers, we are able to talk to the SACCOs and the owners of these vehicles.
You say you're coming up with a plan. What is the plan?
The plan, we need the government to come in fully hand to support the plan on road safety matters because we pay taxes, and we believe that if the government can be involved fully, it's going to help to reduce the accidents. But as the investors, we've come up with how we can reach out to our members countrywide.
Yeah, when you speak to the government, we're talking Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen. He's saying you people are the ones to blame, PSVs. You are the ones to blame.
We are not the ones to blame because we are not the one who trained the drivers. The drivers are trained within the schools whereby they go for training, that is driving schools. And they do driving school for 21 days alone. 21 days is not enough to train a PSV and commercial driver. We need to take them for thorough training, about 3 months to 4 months, so that from there they'll be able to know how the roads look like. They're able to be trained on customer care and other things.
Do they need to be retrained?
Okay, for us, we are saying that we need a training school for PSV because we do not have one. We don't have one. So maybe going forward, the government should sit down with us, see how we can create a training school so that we can be able to help. Not only retraining, we need a lasting solution on the issue of PSV and commercial vehicles.
But tell me something, if you're waiting for the government to set up a training school, you'll be waiting all your life, you know that. Why can't you guys start something? Because, you know, the more we delay, the more lives are lost.
Okay, we've already started, and that's why I've said we've been doing clinics. We are doing the clinics all over the country. And we believe through the clinics we are touching to the drivers because we take a whole day, like we are in Kisii. We talk the whole day in Kisii, and we manage to talk to the drivers, and we manage to talk to the owners.
These drivers, when you talk to them, what is their biggest concern? What is the biggest challenge?
To us, I think as we move on, we need to see how to formalize the industry in terms of how do we be able to employ the driver permanently. Because right now, if you ask me, majority of them are on casual basis. So if I'm getting a salary on a daily basis, I can decide to do anything I want to do with my money. But as we move on, we are talking to the government through NTSA to see how we can formalize. Because in law, we are supposed to employ them permanently.
Yeah.
And we believe that we can create an institution which can be able to absorb all the drivers. And then from there, we'll have some benefits like low-cost housing. We can do for them pension. They do not have pension. We see how we can work on pension. The government must come in because when you talk about free education, why don't we give incentive to the driver who is driving public? Yeah, he's helping to drive our economy so that we can give their kids free education, and it will really help to bring the accident down.
And the other thing is some of these drivers, they work like 18, 20 hours, and it's not humanly possible to do that.
Okay, we are talking to the SACCOs as we move on. A driver is supposed to work for 8 hours by law. He's supposed to work for 8 hours. So what we say, we are talking to the government, Minister of Labor, to see how we can formalize everything.
It looks like you're talking to everybody. Are they talking back to you?
Okay, they are talking back to us. We have a collaboration with the NTSA. We have collaboration with police. We are really reaching out to them to see how we can turn around the issue of accidents.
But it's not happening, Bwana President. It's not happening.
It may take a while, but we believe that we are going to change the whole situation. And as an association, we believe that we are trying to push the government. I know there is a meeting on Wednesday with the president, and we think that we want to push the government to have like the clinics, if we can do them 4 times a month. In Uganda, in Rwanda, they started the issue of cleaning every month. You go to Rwanda, it's very clean. So we believe if we can do road clinics 4 times a month, it's going to change the situation as we look for the long-term solution.
Yeah, but Murkomen will probably tell you they don't have the money.
We as an investors, we can pump in some money. And we believe that we have other sponsors who can come in. People like Citizen, you can come in and support the initiative so that we can be able to move forward. Yes.
And what do you tell the parents of the children and the family members who are lost each and every single day, other than sorry, because sorry doesn't solve anything? What do you tell them?
Okay, what we tell the parents, maybe moving forward through the Ministry of Education, we'll need to create something in the education calendar so that we see how we can be able even to train the students. Wherever they are, they should know about road safety.
These people who drive these matatus, obviously, you say the time limit is not enough. What is it, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks?
Okay, when you go for training...
Normal training.
Yeah, then the normal training, you go for 21 days.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And then, that is not enough.
No.
And that's why after that, we have people we call Kamagera. A Kamagera, you are told to wait until you finish 4 years for you to drive a Matatu. Now, you see, after finishing 4 years, just waiting, you'll go at the termini, trying to get something at the end of the day. You do what we call squad driver. So
what is squad driver?
Squad driver, whereby the main driver comes in, and then he'll give you to push a vehicle, maybe to turn a vehicle. That is a squad driver. So, and then you are paid 100 shillings per every squad you do. So we believe that those squad drivers, the government should join hand with us to see how we immediately, once you get your license for within 21 days, we take you to a formal training for 3 months to 4 months. I think we'll be able to create even employment around 1 million a year. Yes.
You talk about Rwanda a moment ago.
Yeah.
People follow rules there.
True.
Even borders follow rules. Why don't we follow rules? Why do we have this Matatu culture where everybody thinks that they own the road?
The law is there, and it is just we adhere to the law, and we'll be able to change. And we can be able to change that driver by taking him to the training. He'll be able to be changed.
Even 30, 40 years ago, nothing has changed. Nothing has. In fact, it's gotten worse. Overlapping, kelele, stopping in the middle of the road to, for passengers to disembark. It's never. Tell me a Matatu organization that has a good reputation here in Kenya.
Where we have problems is within Nairobi, and we believe if we can be able to turn Nairobi, the whole country will turn.
And how are you going to do that? How will you do that?
How we are going to do that is through the clinics we are talking about. It is through thorough training of these drivers, and we need the government to empower the SACCOs. You see, Matatus are run through the SACCOs, and if the government can empower the SACCO, let the SACCO take charge. The chairman of the SACCO, the officials of the SACCO, because it does business like any other business. From there, everything will go right. But right now, you get the police is arresting an individual. You don't need to deal with the individual. Deal with the SACCO, because SACCO have been given power to run the management of the PSV. Yes.
And here's the other thing. An owner gives his Matatu to a driver, and he says, I need 5,000 shillings, or whatever it is, a day. Right?
Yes.
So this man has to collect this money any which way. So he finds himself under pressure, and then also make a little something on the side. That's another problem.
We believe that even the SACCO are the ones to decide how much money is the vehicle supposed to get at the end of the day, not the owner. Because the owner is supposed to be buying shares from the SACCO. The owner is supposed to follow the rules from the SACCO, not the owner giving power to the driver. The SACCO is the one to give power to the driver, because before the driver drive that vehicle, he must get a license through the SACCO.
So I hear you're blaming SACCOs, you're blaming government, you're blaming everyone else. What is the role of the Matatu Owners Association then?
We are not blaming the SACCOs. What we are saying, we are blaming the government. The government must make sure that the SACCO takes charge of the business. The role of Matatu Owners Association is to facilitate for the membership countrywide. Matatu Owners Association, we control 42 counties. We have 480 members. So our work is to make sure that the policies which are coming up through the government, we are able to help them to make sure that they are following the rules and bettering their investment.
Uh-huh. So once you do that, what's the way forward?
The way forward is us to sit down with the government.
And they don't want to sit down with you?
We've been sitting down with them. And we are happy because whatever we do with the minister, we are able to give him whatever we are doing, and he's happy. And we believe that continue sitting down, we are going to change the industry. If you give us another 5 years, because we are there for another 5 years.
How do you regulate prices? For instance, when it's raining, the prices go up. When it's not raining, they go down again.
You see, there is demand and supply. When it's raining, there is a lot of traffic jam. The vehicle will stay, like for example, in Nairobi, going to a place like Ngong, it will take maybe 2 to 3 hours for you to reach Ngong. So you'll get the demand in supply of vehicles goes down, and the demand on passengers goes up. So we'll have to hike our fares because of that.
And when fuel prices go down, will you lower your prices now that super is down by 5 shillings, diesel is down by 10 shillings?
We appreciate and we know the fuel has gone down, and we are talking to our members to see how we can lower down the prices. But we are asking the government to talk to the guys who are even selling the spares. They need to lower them down. The spares, the tires, they are still up. So we are talking to our members. We are going to lower down the prices.
You talked about corruption as well.
Sure.
There's too much corruption. I mean, what's to stop a Matatu owner paying off someone so that his vehicle can be declared roadworthy?
You see, the corruption will stop when we bring in what we call cashless. Because corruption is there because people are moving with money in their pockets at the end of the day. So the driver can decide to buy his freedom. But we are trying to see how to enforce the issue of cashless. Once we bring in cashless, we are going to stop corruption. And I think before the end of this year, we'll make sure that the issue of cashless is in place.
And if the minister was listening to you right now, the CS for Transport, Kipchumba Murkomen, if he was listening to you right now, what would you tell him?
I will tell him he needs to work very closely with the Matatu Owners Association to see how we can transform the industry. Because we believe if you transform the industry, we are going to invite more investors into the business. We believe that Matatu, if you compare our Matatu within our East African community, we are ahead compared to other countries like Uganda and Tanzania.
Yeah, but we have no manners. That's for lack of a better
Now,
phrase.
we are working on manners. we know very well this are our children. We need to see how to work very closely with them to change the behaviors. Through the training, we are able to change the behaviors.
But what do they need? Do they need like a tough leader? So, and again, I refer to Rwanda because you brought it up, right?
Yeah.
There they are disciplined. Here we have bad manners.
Okay, if you go to Rwanda, they borrowed the law from here in Kenya. Whatever we do here in NTSA, they came here, they studied everything, and they took it there.
And they implemented it.
And they implemented, yeah. Here we need a tough political leader. Yeah, the president should be tough so that we can be able to say that this is the direction. You remember Mishuki? He was very tough, and everything turned around.
Mishuki rules.
Yeah, Mishuki rules.
Everyone remembers that.
Yeah, everyone remembers.
But since
that.
then, it's down to basic zero.
It's not really zero because the minister is really trying. Because we talk with him every month, we are talking. to find out how can we be able to change because you see sometimes you don't need to really be tough. You need to see how to reach out to everybody, because if you try to be taking a rungo every time, it's not good. Sometimes you need to come up with a way, how can we be able to partner so that we can be able to change. When you are fighting your kid every day when he's going to school, he'll not change. But when you talk to him nicely, he will change.
So you want to be talked to nicely?
Nicely, yeah.
Okay. And what do you tell people who say Matatu Owners Association is a cartel? That's what you're a cartel.
We are not cartel. We are investors. As the president of Matatu Owners Association, I own vehicles. They are on the road. You see, we are not cartels. There is no cartel in the industry. And if there is any cartel in the industry, the government is there to watch and find out how to root them out. So we, as the Matatu owners, we deal with the owners. If you are not an owner, we don't allow you to come on board.
How many vehicles do you have?
Personally, I have 15 vehicles.
15?
On the road, yeah.
And they're all roadworthy?
They are all roadworthy.
Across the country or just Nairobi?
I operate within Nairobi. My vehicles operate within Nairobi.
Tell me something, Madam President. These Matatus I hear sometimes when, they're driving behind me or ahead of me, and they go, pa, 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 pa. What is that? What is that noise?
You see, the noise is there, and we need to know that there is a culture. We need to embrace our culture. Matatu is a culture.
Okay.
We don't need
is
to
that
leave
part
it.
of the culture?
Yeah, it's a part of the culture. You remember Kiondo?
Yes.
Yeah, and it was a culture in this country. And we've left it to South Africans. So we need to embrace our culture. What we need to do is just to see how to help the driver to be a smart guy on the road.
And that noisy music inside as you're entering, what about that? Isn't that a little too much sometimes?
Okay, within the Matatu industry, you see there is what we call middle class. We have youth. The youth are the ones who like music. When you come to middle class, people who are working, they don't like music. So it's an option. Which one do you want to jump in when you are going to work? If you want a music one, you'll get it. But we urge our drivers not to put loud music. They should be moderate when they are playing the music.
You're asking a lot, Madam President.
So we need to embrace and see how can we be able to do it. It's the one which is carrying majority of hustlers. One day I was a hustler, personally.
And now you're president.
Now I'm president.
Not bad, though. What do you tell these PSV drivers right now? If they're listening to you as they're driving their vehicles, what do you tell them?
What I tell them, they need to be very careful on the road. They don't need to drink and drive. They don't need to carry excess. They need to follow the law, Traffic Act, so that as we move on, we are going to support them to make sure that they earn a good living.